What's good, everybody? Time for a DL short. Now, this young lady right here, she has played some of the biggest venues on the planet as a young musician. She is primarily a drummer, but she's also a saxophonist, bassist, guitarist, keyboardist, producer. I ain't joking, y'all. I ain't joking. She has performed with some of the biggest acts in the music business. She's performed with the Foo Fighters, just to throw that out there. She's met Questlove. She is probably one of the most exciting musicians I've ever seen in my life, and I've been around music my entire life. She's out of the United Kingdom. Did I mention she's 13 years old? Yeah, 13. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Nandi Bushell. She hit the scene, man. She hit the YouTube scene during the pandemic when she challenged Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters to a drum challenge. She did so well that Dave that Dave and the Foo Fighters brought her to LA to the Forum to do a concert. It's one of the first concerts. I think it was during the pandemic, it's like when LA began to loosen things up. And they actually had her perform on stage with the Foo Fighters playing Everall, I think it's the name of the song. Go check it out. She did such an amazing job that there are professional musicians, like people who teach people how to drum, were watching and reacting to this performance. One guy was even crying, like he got so emotional, and I felt him on that because as a musician, you know how she's feeling, at least in a little bit, a little way. Like if anyone who's ever performed, you know that feeling when you first get on stage, and as a probably like vocalists are probably dealing with this, but certainly as a musician, I played alto saxophone in high school. When I was around Andy's age, I actually picked up the alto, and I still to this day vividly remember my first solo, and I can remember the first good solo I ever had. I remember the first solo, but I really remember the first time I had to solo. Like my first solo, I was in middle school, just me, my buddy Brent, and Nate. Nate was playing the drums, Brent was playing the trumpet, I was playing the saxophone, and we played "We Got the Spirit." You know that song. Dun 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 dun. That song, the most let's go blue, let's go red, let's go whatever. We were playing that. And that was my official first solo. Was basically just a trio of us just playing it, right? A year later, I'm a freshman in high school, a big high school right across the street, and I was in the jazz band and had to come back to my middle school, and I had to play a real solo. I was playing blues and B flat, and I'm telling you, that experience changed my life. Right? That's the reason I'm not afraid to talk to folks. That's the reason I can do stand up comedy. That's the reason I was able to jump out of airplanes. The confidence I got from that one moment at a middle school as a high school freshman performing in front of my friends, and I had some family members in the crowd. I remember my cousin was there. I can hear him in the back of the auditorium screaming, "That's my cousin!" Oh man, it was one of the greatest feelings in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's up there. So to see a 13-year-old, and at the time, Nandi was like 9, right? She was like 9 years old, playing the Forum, playing one of the hardest songs you can play as a drummer, and killed it. She killed it. So I want to do a quick short. This is a video of Nandi. She's just on a Drumeo. If you guys ever watched that, check it out. I'll link it in the description below. And what they do on this channel is they bring in some of the best musicians, some of the best drummers in the world, and they'll have them sit down and then they'll pick a song. Like, we're gonna have you play a song, and they'll ask the drummer, "Have you ever heard of this song?" It's like, no. They'll play the song without the drum track, just the song itself, let them hear it, and then the drummer will basically build a drum track for the song that they just heard. And it's kind of cool to watch, especially as anyone who's in the music business, no matter, if you're a musician or whatever, any kind of performer, it's always cool to watch someone creatively come up with stuff, right? So 90's been on here a few times. Actually, I think it was 2 sessions. I think they did it over maybe a week period or whatever, but she's done. If you go online and look for it, you'll find a bunch, and they're all worth watching. Trust me when I tell you. So this one right here, she's playing uh Dio. This was 1980s heavy metal song from back in the 80s, which is not the same as the kind of heavy metal stuff that's been playing today, right? Twisted Sister and this Dio or Dio, I might be pronouncing it wrong, is a far cry from Slipknot and, you know, System of a Down and Unlocking the Truth, right? It's like completely different. So this is just a video of her playing this tune, man. So let's check it out.
Is it this song? This is a workout.
Those fills are sounding great.
Man.
I do them Neil Peart style.
She broke her sticks.
I think I went too far.
All right, Nandi, are you ready?
So what's happening?
So I saw you had a double bass drum pedal on the kit, so I figured we'd do one more of these. Here's the song.
This was from earlier. She did Twisted Sister. Then she did Shine Down.
What would you say?
So that song right there, like she did Twisted Sister first. They just let her, you know, they just let her hit the tracks with, you know, they didn't give her the music. She couldn't hit the drum track. She just listened to it, and then she did her version of Twisted Sister. Man, it sounded amazing. And they even gave her a cowbell, saying this just has a cowbell in it to kind of try to throw her off a little bit. And she's listening to the song. She's like, does it need a cowbell? The guy was like, yeah, I think you're gonna need this. She took that cowbell and blended it into that song. And it was, man, look, when what she played, her drum track, no shade to the drummer and the guys from Twisted Sister, but this young girl blew it out the water. This little sister blew it out the water. So, and when I say she's a musician, she is a full-fledged musician. She is a grown-up musician in a 13-year-old body, man. I'm here to tell you. Let's continue.
Hey, your favorite style of music to play is?
Metal, rock.
Well, you might be in luck then with this one. And I don't think you've heard this band. Let us know if you have. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
So the 80s were good for just adding stuff in there. She even calls it like the whale part. It sounds like whale noise.
Haunting.
Haunting. Like I said, she's from the UK.
Okay.
Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Between
So right there's the bit where they showed you that she was just listening to the song itself, everything except for the drums. They didn't have the drum, track in there. So she just listening to it. Unless you're a musician, I don't think you truly appreciate how difficult that is. And it calls for 100% creativity. There are a lot of really good musicians out there that can play anything that you can write. If you can write it, they can play it. And they'll play it exactly as written. But when you ask them to solo, if you just point to them and tell them to solo, if you ask them to be creative, they can't do it, or they can't do it very well. And they don't like to do it. And, I love the musicians who are creative. I love it. I love working with musicians. I love working with creatives like comedians and actors and writers. When you just say go and you give them a concept and they just go. Other folks are like, nah, man, they need parameters, bro. You need to tell them exactly what to do. Now, they'll be really good at doing it, but you got to tell them exactly what to do. Nandi is not that person. Nandi is 100% creative. I am shocked at how creative this young girl is. Ooh. Gotta move her kicks, her double kick paddle over a little bit. Ooh. That was that stick. Look at her, poor thing.
Is it this long?
Right? She's like, what do y'all got me doing? Is it like, is it this long? Like, yeah, that's how they got down in the 80s. Yeah, they'll throw together a 6 to 12 minute song like it ain't nothing. And she's, you know, you got to keep in mind that this is a very young person. So her idea of metal is the speed metal. Like, you know, think System of the Down, bro. You know, like think think Slipknot, bro. Think, you know, like the double bass, man, and like heavy drum solos and, you know, the crashes and all that. Like just, you know, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's just, that's what she's used to. You know, she wasn't around in the 80s. Right? She wasn't around for the boom to cat because that's all it really was. You know what I mean? Even when you got to like Guns N' Roses and you got to Van Halen. Remember Jump? Bump, 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 da, 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 boom, 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 boom. Remember that? And then when they got into it, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap. And I'm not even a drummer. I can play around. I mess around on the drums, but I can't. But I can play that, right? She's used to this stuff that's out here now, just like crazy, right? So let's continue.
Okay.
What do you think of the song?
Quite a long song.
It is a long song. Have you heard it?
No. I think it will be quite fun.
John, have you played this for Nandi ever?
No, I've not even had the song before.
Success. Well, we'll tell you who it is at the end. Do you want to take this from the top or?
Yeah, from the beginning, please.
Cool.
But like not the part where it's like kind of sounds like a whale at the beginning.
So the morning, you can hide in the sun till you see
He has to
the
figure out the tempo. He has to listen to what's else being played. She has to pay attention to the other instruments that are being played, like what solos are out there. And she's trying to follow the changes. She's trying to follow the bridges. Look, she broke her stick. Look at her. She's getting frustrated. Poor baby.
I kind of got a sense of the structure.
You kind of landed on some of the different tom beats and some
Yeah.
of the faster fills.
Yeah.
The vision never dies.
Wow.
Life's a never-ending way.
Wow.
Those fills are sounding.
She is killing it with those feels. And the thing is, she's playing, but she's thinking. She's not really playing it because she's not quite sure where she wants to go with her creativity. I mean, this is amazing to watch, right? Again, y'all know over here, this is I Really Want to Know podcast, man. We talk about everything, bro. We'll go from talking about crazy politics on one day to talking about a 13-year-old drummer the next. And that's, you know, and that's how life is, isn't it? We should be able to talk about all this stuff, man. Keep it heavy, keep it light, keep it everything in between, right? So I just want y'all to pay attention. Look at how focused she is. She knows what she wants to do, and then she's just forcing herself to do it, kind of like a machine, you know, just like AI, just kind of learning and self-correcting, and she's just trying to figure it out. And she sounds so crisp, so crisp in the process, bro.
Right.
Thank you. I do that Neil Peart stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
And y'all look at her. She is in the zone.
This is a workout.
Wow.
Nandi, what would you say is the hardest part about learning this song?
That I made it difficult for myself.
I love it.
Look at it. Hang in there, girl.
Could we go from the beginning, please?
Yes.
She is so determined to get this down. And here's another thing, too. They didn't keep a clock running. We don't know how much time it took for her to come up with this. In the same session, and there's video of it out there, right? From the same session, they played her a song and let her hear the drum tracks. They just played her the whole song. I forget the name of the group. It's one of the newer groups. It's more of a just contemporary. It's like rock, but it's not heavy, you know, not too heavy, right? It's like, I would call it, I guess, today's contemporary. It's not too heavy, but it's not, you know, that old school rock and roll stuff. But anyway, they let her hear it. She was listening to it. And they just wanted to see how long it would take her to be able to play that song. And in less than 40 minutes, I think it was like between 28 and like 38 minutes somewhere in there, because they had a clock running in the corner. She had the song down. And when I say she had the song down, she could have gone on stage anywhere on the planet and played that song for that band. I mean, she was back there, she's singing the chorus and everything. Like she was, because it wasn't a very, very difficult song for her. And she would, and it was, she's played it perfectly. Perfectly. She added maybe a couple things there. I think she put the she's really on her double bass right now. So I think she threw a couple of those in there just for good measure. But just to give you an idea, it took her less than 40 minutes to get that song down to the point where they could have recorded it. Right. So she's listening to this. This is very, very challenging. And she, look at her now. You see, she's frustrated, man. She's so frustrated, but she's gonna get through it.
I'll get it this time.
Yes, you got it.
Get away, get away, get away. Hold it, diver. Hold it, diver. Hold it, diver.
That was awesome. Nice double bass at the end. That one part, it seems like at the end of the guitar solo, like there's that one spot where the vocal comes back in. Kind of seems like a weird spot, hey?
I don't know. It's all just confusing.
I think you're going to be surprised when you hear the original drums. One more time.
And she's like, she just kept going. And, finally she's like, okay, let's just do the final take. So let's just jump ahead to the final take. Listen to what she came up with, guys.
Can I just do it one more time? It was just I just need to.
Look at her.
You want to do one more take?
Please.
Yeah, one more take, the final take. And then we'll play you the original, so you get to hear what the original drum part is.
She's like, I just want to perfect it.
Okay, here's the last take.
Here she goes.
Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Ride the tiger.
Man, she's just on that tom-tom, bro. Sounds good, too.
Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away. Holy diver. Shiny diamonds, like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out!
Listen to how crisp that is, bro.
Hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's all right. Gotta get away. Get away.
She's just staying on that crash.
Between the velvet lines, there's a truth that's hard as steel. Yeah. The vision never dies. Life's a never-ending wheel. Say,
Man, y'all hear that, man?
you're the star.
Did I mention she's 13 years old? At the end of that solo, did you hear that? Boom, 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 boom. Did you hear how crisp that was? That she was just coming. I mean, and she's just killing those cymbals, bro. Accenting on those cymbals. She's got a double bass going on. Man, listen. Like I said, I've been around music my whole life. I've been around some of the best musicians on the planet. This little girl is 13 years old. You give her 5 years, I don't think anybody will be able to touch her. I could be wrong.
No need to look so afraid. Jump, jump, jump on the tiger. You can feel his heart, but you know he's real. Some light can never be seen. Yeah.
Pow. There she go. And
Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Always be coming over me. No, ride a tiger. You can see his steps, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away.
poor thing, she's running out of gas.
Gotta get away. Get away. Holy diver, some survivor. The other one is clean. Holy diver, holy diver. Here's the captain of blue coming after you, holy diver.
Woo!
Holy diver.
I think you
I
got
see you, Nandi. I see you, man. Oh my gosh, she is a beast. Listen, playing the drums, especially if you're playing heavy metal, speed metal, something like that. I mean, that is a workout, people. It is a workout. And if you don't think it's a workout, back this up to where she was right there towards the end, like the last couple minutes right before she ran out of gas. And just sit there every time she hits those, every time you see her pedal, her feet going down on those drum pedals, boom, 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 boom. Do that with your feet, right? Just kind of do that with your feet while you're sitting down. Then with your hands, without any sticks in them, just with your hands, be hitting that tom, hitting them drums and hitting that cymbal. And she's doing that run. Boom. And she's hitting that crash. The whole time her feet are moving. Go ahead and do that. See how long you last. Right? This poor 13-year-old is up here just crushing it. So they're gonna let her listen to the original. And let's listen to the original and listen to what she says. She's just so cute. And the reason I want you to hear this part especially is because this is where you get to hear the musician come out. Nandi is a full-fledged musician. She might only be 13 years old, but she knows what she's doing. And she's listening. She has the ear for all of the music. She's hearing everything. Pay close attention, guys.
it, Nandi. All right, are you ready to hear the original?
Yeah.
I think you're going to be pretty surprised. So the song is called Holy Diver, and the band is Dio.
Dio.
And
Holy
the
Diver.
drummer, I don't know if you've heard of Vinny Appice.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from 1983. This is the original.
Okay.
Boom, cat, boom, boom, cat, boom, cat, boom, boom, cat. How basic it is.
No double pedals yet.
Yeah, no double pedals.
Shiny diamonds, like the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. So
She's like, I can't believe it.
I think I went too far with the double pedals.
I don't think so.
No drum solo here.
You see, she feels the music, and if this were a heavy metal band from this era, there absolutely would have been drum solo there. There absolutely would have been double bass there, right? It would have been loud and powerful, and it would have been, the crashes would have been there. So she's adjusting on the fly. So all right, this is how they did music in the 1980s versus how they do it now. And you can see she's thinking, she's like, wow, what did she say? Like, I did too much. I went too far. So continue. Let's check this out.
Oh. I kind of took the guitar solo shine away. I was expecting like Slipknot, Jay Weinberg, Joey Jordison style. Double pedals everywhere, huge drum solo.
A little bit different, hey?
But it's good because it doesn't take away from the song. Like, mine goes a little bit crazy, and the drummer's not like taking away the guitarist spotlight, because I just completely I did the drum solo over the guitar solo.
I kind of like your version, Nandi. This is a drum video.
Fair enough.
I think what's cool is like it just shows that every drummer hears things different and plays different, has a different style. That's like the best part of this.
I hope you enjoyed watching me create Holy Diver by Dio. This was a fun and exciting experience because I got to play around with the drums and do what I like. I found this really hard because I did make it hard for myself. I went a bit overboard with the heavy metal. I still prefer it if I can go crazy.
One more time, shout out to her. Like I said, that is a musician. She is 100% one of the most creatives I've ever seen in any genre, any field, anywhere, from spoken word to stand-up comedy to acting. She's 13 years old. We're gonna be watching some more of Nandi, guys. I promise you. We're gonna cover a few more of her videos. I've been meaning to cover her. She did this thing where she took an old school 1980s hip hop song and played it on her drum set at home with the help of a drum machine and some other accessories, I should say. Listen, this young lady is the real deal. You guys want to know what a savant looks like? You guys want to know what the future of drumming looks like? All you got to do is watch her, bro. She's just now getting into jazz. Next time we do a deal short on Nandi, we'll probably show she played Caravan. She learned how to play Caravan. That's probably one of the hardest drum pieces in the jazz world. And I definitely have some thoughts on that. We'll do that at some point down the road. But hey, man, just every time I watch this young lady get out there and do her thing, I can't help but just smile and feel good. My daughter, my little one, she plays the trombone. My daughter's a little bit older than Andy, but she plays the trombone. So my daughter is my favorite musician right now, right? You know, feel me? You feel me? You feel me? I'm sure she heard that, but she is my favorite musician right now. But Nandy's a close second. So, all right, I got to go. That's all I got for today, man. If y'all have any comments, leave them in the, if y'all have any anything to say, leave it in the comments below. That's what I wanted to say. I will link this video in the description below so you guys can watch this at your leisure. Please go back and watch it. And again, won't you sit there and just bounce your feet up and down while that video is playing and move your arms around and see how sweaty you are and how tired you are by the end of it. Shout out to little sister Nandi. Shout out to you guys. I'm D.O. Saint. I got to go. Peace.